Why exactly do we need a structure in the first place? Because a lot of questions that are asked are opinion based. You have to give your opinion. Why exactly do I think like that? I think so because it's pretty important if the company wants to flourish in the long term. Hi everyone, welcome to PW with me Vandana once again. Now in today's lecture, I'm going to be talking about magic structure for IELTS speaking. And the framework or the structure that I'm going to give you is especially going to be helpful for you guys for IELTS speaking part 3. So stay tuned till the end when I'll give you a sample answer. Let's get started. Alright, so let's quickly understand why exactly do we need a structure in the first place. Because without a structure, students ramble or go off topic. It can happen to anybody that we can deviate, we can go off topic. And responses sometimes are too short, just in one-liner or two-liner answers, we just end our answer. So that's just not acceptable if we want a high score. And sometimes there are too many fillers like, these are fillers that must be avoided. And with a structure, you are always clear, confident, fluent, as well as articulate, because now you don't have to think that what I'm going to say next. Now you have a clear structure, and according to that structure, you can proceed ahead. And it's easy to expand ideas because, like I said, you know exactly that after this sentence, what exactly should come out of my mouth. So that is the magic of having a clear framework. Now, what exactly this structure is? This is this ACE framework. I call this ACE framework, ACE, wherein ACE is an abbreviation. Now, what is the full form of this abbreviation? Let's quickly take a look. So A stands for answering the question directly. See, what happens is in IELTS speaking part 3 especially, a lot of questions that are asked are opinion based. You have to give your opinion. So answering the question directly means you state in the very first sentence, you state your viewpoint, that what do you think about that situation. Once that is done, now you elaborate using either reasons or clarify using reasons, or if you have other facts around your viewpoint, then utilize those facts. And E as an example, because in part 3 of IELTS speaking, it's highly recommended to include examples in our explanation wherever possible. You can include examples in part 1 and part 2 also, but in part 3, yes, it's highly recommended to include examples in your explanation. Now let's see how to use this framework. Let's apply this and see one sample answer. Now the question here says, should companies prioritize employees' happiness over profits? Now how would I answer this question using the ACE framework? I would say something like this. I would say, well, in the current day, it seems like money is at the top of the game. Everybody looks at money as their priority. However, when it comes to businesses, and if they want to flourish in the long run, then I would say definitely yes, they should talk about employees' happiness as their topmost priority. Why exactly do I think like that? I think so because it's pretty important if the company wants to flourish in the long term. If they focus on profits and not on employee happiness, then probably they will thrive in the short term. But if they want to flourish in the long term, then yes, they have to focus on employee happiness. Otherwise, the employee turnover may go up. And when that happens, a company struggles because now they have to spend too many resources, time, and take a lot of stress. And the human power that they are hiring over and over again, they have to train that human power also. So that is how I've said they have to spend resources. For example, Tata Enterprises or late Mr. Ratan Tata, he was known to keep the employee happiness as the top priority. And that is the same ethics which are followed in Tata Enterprises even today. And all of us can see where this company stands. So this is how I was able to use ACE framework. I had opinion here, example of Tata Enterprises, and before that, I was able to expand using reasons and facts related to my opinion. So the next time you are practicing IELTS Speaking Part 3 questions, try and utilize ACE framework and see if it's working for you. And I hope that was helpful. I'll be seeing you in the next lecture. Bye-bye, everybody. Take care.